again, Dr. Marlisa Hurt. And as I said, her credentials, they're extensive. I mean, let's put it this way, and this is real talk. I'm not even kidding. If you look at her LinkedIn account, for sake of example, it's extensive. We had to condense her credentials onto the slide, okay? And so as you could see, she's a wellness advisor, a PhD in anti-aging medicine. And just when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's a real thing. And I don't know about you all, but I know so many people that want to do whatever they can to, I'm just going to say, the anti-aging part as much as possible. So again, she's extremely knowledgeable in that. As you could see, she's a clinical practitioner, certified clinical practitioner in a couple different subjects. Again, extensive credentials. But why have me talk about it? Why not have, of course, our the very own doctor? And we are very, very lucky to have her.
One of the most important things that we're going to talk about that's really different in this program is we have a special medical food that has been used all over the world in nutritional medicine clinics to help people lose hundreds of pounds. It's also been dropped by helicopter by the pallet load. The World Health Organization uses this to be able to create the best quality protein in life-saving situations like refugee camps, you know, when there's war and they have war camps feeding children. We have a special protein that we use in this program. I've been using it for about 15 years with clinical nutrition weight loss programs as a protein replacement. And the reason why it's so powerful is, you know, one thing that we're taught, especially, you know, when I was in college, I was a personal trainer. And so we learned a lot about eating enough protein. It was kind of a common thing that everybody knew, get plenty of protein. But one thing we weren't taught about was the quality of the protein. And we were just taught, you know, back in the 80s, just to count how many grams of protein. And so what I've learned through the years and after going on to get my PhD and learning other doctors who are involved in these life-saving type of nutritional intervention programs, we have a special protein tablet that we use that has been used in life-saving situations all over the world. It's actually used in hospitals in Europe, and Germany has several clinics that use it. It's safe for people who are even on dialysis. It's the preferred form of protein because it's so easy to digest, and it gives the body what's called body protein synthesis. It gives the most amount of protein per serving of any food. So this is a medical food, and 10 tablets is one serving. And we use these proteins strategically to make sure that we get enough protein in our day to stimulate that metabolism, but also to help repair. Because remember, I said most people who've been on a weight loss program or who even struggling with a chronic pain-related injury, it's because they don't have enough protein to be able to repair the old cells. It's really interesting. A few years ago, my husband had this injury. He plays golf almost every day. He runs, he lifts weights, he exercises like 3 times a day. He's like a fitness fanatic. And he didn't tell me because he knew I wouldn't approve. He was going to get he had been diagnosed with tennis elbow, and he couldn't play golf. So he went and got his elbow injected with cortisone shots, and it hurt so bad he was having to take 6 Advil several times a day. And still, with the cortisone shot and the Advil for months, he didn't tell me he was doing this. He finally came and said, listen, this is what's been going on, but he's like, my arm, I just need to do something differently. And I said, you know what this is? You're living off those junky protein bars from Walmart again, aren't you? You're keeping them hidden in your gym bag, and you're thinking that that's helping your body heal. And that quality protein, you just stay in a place of chronic inflammation, and it's pretty much like eating a Snickers bar. And we sat down and read the label together, and I said, you know, if you want to eat that much sugar and carbohydrates, you might as well eat a Snickers bar because you know it tastes better than that thing. That thing is nasty, and it does not have any protein in it for body protein synthesis. Out of the 30 grams of protein in that bar, only 1 gram of protein was available for body protein synthesis, or or body protein synthesis means the ability for your body to take those grams of protein and to turn it into new cells. So there's how much you're getting, and then there's how much you can actually use and absorb. So it's the we're going to talk about the rating of how to look at how many grams of protein is biologically available for your body. So when you eat it, it goes into your stomach and your body extracts the power from that food. And then it excretes the waste, right? In the form of poop. Well, we don't want to be eating just to make poop. We want to be eating to nourish our body strong. So the protein that we're looking at, one of the markers, and this is something if you've had a routine blood panel, a complete blood count, one of the things that they usually check is your BUN, your BUN, or your blood urea nitrogen. Nitrogen, the amount of nitrogen in your bloodstream measures how much waste is given off when you eat certain types of protein. So this is, even though this is something we were never taught in nutrition school back in the 80s, this is a real thing that we've been measuring, but we haven't been able to connect the dots between our routine lab work and a complete blood count and going, oh wow, the BUN is elevated. That means the proteins that you're eating are causing a lot of waste to build up in your body. And all that waste is toxic, and it creates work for your kidney and your liver to get rid of it. And what does that do? It takes your energy. It takes your biological energy reserves are all going to just getting rid of the food that we put in our mouths, which is supposed to give us energy, but it's just actually giving us a ton of waste to clear out. So just like my husband, he had this chronic inflammation because he didn't have enough protein available for body protein synthesis to make healthy new cells to replace the ones that he had worn out playing golf a little obsessively, I might add. So if we have enough protein coming in, the body is able to take it if it's a high quality, if it has a high number of net nitrogen utilization, the body can take it and make new healthy cells on time, on schedule, as they get damaged or destroyed from oxidative stress, from chemicals in our food, from a lack of nutrients in our food. So within about 2.5 weeks, I made a deal with my husband. I said, please, you don't have to change anything else. Just stop eating the toxic protein bars. They're fake. They're not even as healthy as a Snicker bar. They're loaded with synthetic vitamins and minerals and chemical forms of things that are just, it's a fake health food. I said, promise me you'll stop eating those and you will just add these pills and just see how long it takes for your body to be able to repair itself when you're getting good quality protein. And literally it was about 2.5 weeks. He told me he didn't think it was going to work. He was like, you get so excited about all these nutrients and I'm just going to eat what I eat. And I said, please just make a deal with me that you'll do this. I asked him to do it for 3 weeks, but by 2.5 weeks, he came back to me and he said, I can't shake my arm. No matter what I do to try to get that pain to come back, it doesn't hurt anymore. And I said, see, and he goes, no, it's probably going to come back. He'd had it for about 1.5 years. And his body hadn't been able to heal in 1.5 years. And then within 2.5 weeks, he had no more pain. And he said, I'm going to go lift weights. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to see if if it comes back, if this is just a coincidence and it's just kind of a sleep. And I said, no, your body has had enough protein coming in now that it's been able to lay down new healthy cells that are not emitting that pain signal because the inflammation is gone. Your body was able to heal itself. So let's just look at this chart together and look at some of the foods. And I want you to be thinking about the foods that you eat when you're thinking like, okay, I'm going to be healthy today. I want you to think, are you really getting the healthiest proteins for your body to have the highest amount of body protein synthesis, which means you're getting enough protein for your body to make new cells to repair the old ones? Because if you're not getting enough essential, there's only 2 things that are essential, right? We have essential amino acids and we have essential fats. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. But I want us to look real quickly at the different types of protein, just so you can have in your mind. This is one of the core values that we do in this program. The SON formula, all the way there at the left, you can see it has 99.9% net nitrogen utilization. That means when you eat it, there is 0.1%, 0.1% waste is generated. 99.9% of the SON formula is able to make new cells. 99.9% is to make body protein synthesis, makes new cells. That means if we have a kidney patient who's having their BUN or their blood urea nitrogen checked routinely because they're on dialysis, and dialysis is when you go and you have to have your blood cleaned out because all the toxic waste from the protein that we eat is building up in the blood, and the kidneys have gotten so overloaded with oxidative stress for such a long time, they can't do that filtration job anymore. So you have to go to a center, they clean all your blood out of all the toxins out of your blood for you. Even patients who are going on dialysis are able to replace all of their dietary protein requirements for the day with 100% of SON formula, and their BUN, or their blood urea nitrogen, reduces about 35% in 24 hours. So things like this, of what this protein actually does for our bodies to be able to heal themselves, this is why this actual product gets nicknamed the magic protein pills. So 99.9%. So let's look at the next healthiest food. We know the healthiest food on the whole planet for tiny little humans is breast milk. So that has a 50% net nitrogen utilization. And that's why, because when babies are growing so quickly, their nutritional needs are at their peak. And so 50% of every gram of protein in breast milk is available to make new cells. And then the other 50% is waste. The next highest food would be whole eggs, the egg and the yolk and the white together, because all the nutrients have to be taken together. And when they have a 48% net nitrogen utilization. The next would be grass-fed beef. All animal proteins are about the same. So grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, poultry, all of them, they range from about 28 to 36%. So the animal proteins have the highest amount of protein that's available to make new cells and the least amount of waste, or they generate the least amount of poop. Black beans there would be 16%, the same as whey protein. Vegan proteins come in at about 12. Grains like quinoa, wheat, rice, they're about 6%. So when you eat, a bowl of rice, 94% of that is waste. Only, it's very, very little is available, and it's a lot of work for your body to separate the nutrients. And then, if only 6% net nitrogen utilization, 94% is a job for your body to remove it, and rather than something that's going to fuel it. And then of course nuts are there at 4%. Okay, so we're gonna look, these next two slides are kind of similar. We're gonna go through them a little bit more quickly. But 100 grams of protein, we picked this number just because it's easy to follow the math when you're watching a presentation like this. But 100 grams of protein is a lot. It's, 100 grams of protein is enough for a decent sized man for an entire day. So, women will come in somewhere, between anywhere from 50 to 100 on our program. So when you think about 100 grams of protein, that would be the amount that you'd eat an entire day. So let's just look. I talked a little bit already of the body protein synthesis of the SON formula. And then the right column, the nitrogen catabolates, or how much waste it puts into your bloodstream. It has very, very little. It's almost 100% of it is used to make new healthy cells. And that's why this is really a foundational pillar of this program that helps people to be able to get healthier faster in a very short amount of time. Grass-fed beef, you can see there 66 grams of waste is generated, 34 grams is available for body protein synthesis. black beans, soy protein, 12. A lot of people think that soy protein is so healthy, but I'm telling you, I'm old enough now. I've worked with a lot of women, and when you're eating in the less than 20% net nitrogen utilization here, if the majority of the proteins in your diet are less than 20% able to make new cells, you wear it on your face. You wear it in the quality of your skin. When you're living on soy protein, I've never seen anything that ages women faster. It ages everybody faster because the estrogenic effect of it also has really detrimental effects, and is one of the main reasons why they say that every man in America who lives long enough will end up with prostate cancer. It's because of the amount of soy that just infiltrates all of the processed foods, and like soybean oil, it's in everything. It's in every little condiment and everything because it's so inexpensive, but it's a highly, highly inflammatory bomb, and it destroys our skin. But before then, it destroys our hormone balance too. So when you're eating less than 20% body protein synthesis, obviously you're not eating in the top half of what's optimal. You're eating all of your foods are in the lowest quality half. You're going to have a lower quality of life. But the place where it's first most evident with women is, and everybody, is really the quality of your skin, because our skin is made of protein, vitamins, minerals, healthy fats. And when we don't have quality protein, our skin ages very, very quickly, more so than other people who live in other countries that don't have the same medical resources that we have. We're in the wealthiest country, but when you take our 50 and 60-year-olds and you compare them to 50 and 60-year-olds who work outdoors in third world countries, the quality of the skin of people who live in America, they look 10 to 20 years older than people who are living out in living off the land and eating real food off the land. So the quality of our protein has everything to do with the quality and the health of our cells, and how well we age. And not only how well we age as far as how we look, but the health of our metabolism and the amount of inflammation that stays chronic in our bodies. So when we have chronic inflammation, it actually brings our body's internal chemistry to a whole new level of stress. And we have this acidic chemistry in our bloodstream that gets even worse when we're deficient in vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. So we're going to talk, I think this is our last protein slide. We're going to talk, how does the quality of your protein affect your weight loss goals? So think about things that you've chosen in the past that you thought, okay, I'm going to do, this is going to be my best week. I'm going to set myself up for success, and I'm going to do whatever. You just jot down your notes and compare what is on this chart here that helps you rate the quality of your protein choices. So I'm going to show you how this works, but I want you to understand there is some serious science behind how we jumpstart your body. And it all comes back down to the fact that we are giving you the most nutrient-dense foods to jumpstart your metabolism, because we want to rally all of the body's natural capacity to heal itself. So again, let's look the second bar down. How do things compare to a serving of the SON formula? You always want to choose from the top half, or the highest quality of protein is going to be on the top. And so you want to plan your days. So just look at the calories. Let's look at the calories real quick. So if we look at the second bar down with the grass-fed beef, chicken breast, wild salmon, we can see that if you look at how much it takes to get 25 grams of protein, that's the amount that we recommend for a decent, well-balanced meal. 3 ounces of either of those things, you can have a little bit more of fish, but 3 ounces of pretty much any animal protein gives you 25 grams of protein. And then to the right of that, we can see the calories that go along with that serving. So we're not talking about massive, huge portions, but look at how much it takes to get 25 grams of protein. It's 173 calories if it's grass-fed beef, and 147 calories if it's salmon or chicken breast. Now let's just roll down to the next row and look at black beans. That's something that people usually eat because they think they're being healthy and they're like, oh, I'm going to choose a protein. But look how much black beans you have to eat to be able to get 25 grams of protein, enough protein to be able to say that you've had a meal by anyone's standards, whether it's just total grams of protein without even thinking of, is it a quality protein that's giving my body enough to heal or not? But at 1 2/3 cups, 2 cups is like this whole mason jar, filled. 2 cups is a lot, and it's 378 calories. So we're talking more than twice as many calories as you would be getting from meat to get 25 grams, or to say you've gotten enough protein to call it a meal. Next down would be soy protein. It takes 5 tablespoons if you get a very low carb soy protein that doesn't have a bunch of junk added to it. And you do get a calorie bargain there at only 114 calories. However, look at the body protein synthesis. If you take 25 grams of soy protein and only 12% net nitrogen utilization is where soy falls, only 3 of those grams of protein out of your 25 gram meal, only 3 of those grams are available for body protein synthesis because it's such a low quality protein. This is why people who choose to have soy as their primary source of protein, their skin is thin and really crepey and wrinkly, and it also causes a lot of thyroid problems and growth delays in children. So it's a very, very poor source. And if you're trying to diet with soy protein, initially you might have some results, starving yourself thin. But then your survival mechanisms are going to kick in, and you're going to see that your skin is sagging and crepey. And we don't want anyone to look like, a refugee. We want people to look like they're glowing and strong and healthy. So we don't get there when we're only getting 3 grams for body protein synthesis at each meal. You might be killing it with getting a low calorie, but it's not about starving yourself thin. Nobody gets healthy and at their peak performance starving themselves. This is not about starvation. This is about learning how to choose the things that have the most nutrient density to be able to bring yourself out of that place of hibernation and naturally activate your healing metabolism and get your full metabolic reboot on. So look down at quinoa. Quinoa is another one that people think is so healthy. That's something it's like one of the first foods that I remove when I'm working with cancer patients at hitting cancer below the belt. Look at how much quinoa you have to eat for it to count as a complete meal. Talk about stress on the colon. 3 cups of quinoa. I mean, that's a lot. That's like a small bale of quinoa to get 25 grams of protein. And look how many calories it is. For your 25 grams of protein, it's 678 calories. That's not the fast track to fabulous. As far, look at getting 25 grams from beef, chicken, or fish is a 150 calorie average compared to 678 calories. Or almonds. A lot of diet plans lately are telling you, oh, have almond milk, have almonds as a snack. If you look at the body protein synthesis, nuts are the very lowest quality of protein, and they also come with a really high carbohydrate load. So you're getting a tiny bit of low quality protein. It's only 4% net nitrogen utilization. That means you're only getting 1 gram of protein to get 25 grams of almonds, and it's 722 calories. So that's not setting anyone up for success for healthy weight loss. And you'd have to eat almost a full cup of almonds to get that much. So a lot of nuts are one of the things where people, they have a lot of inflammatory lectins in them. The skin, especially on almonds, causes a lot of inflammation. It's definitely one of the things that are a very common block to weight loss when people have come to my program from other fat burning diets or other ketogenic diets. They usually allow a ton of nuts, and because of the allergen factor, they also harbor a ton of mold that triggers allergies and immune reactions. Plus the fact that it's just a very poor quality protein. You can have, a garnish here and there, But when we're looking at getting enough protein to stimulate our metabolism to get like rocking the fat burn, we have to make sure that we are really prioritizing getting enough protein and choosing the most high quality proteins to be able to stimulate the metabolism to nourish our bodies strong.